Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the AZ Sports Zone here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Alden K, for episode 38. We're going to start off with the Diamondbacks. We have a ton of D-backs baseball to talk about. We're going to talk pretty much a lot about Diamondbacks versus Yankees series as they take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. We'll talk about the entirety of that series. We'll talk about the Diamondbacks winning their series opener tonight against the Washington Nationals, but at a little bit of a cost. Ketel Marte suffered a hamstring injury today, so we'll see how much that affects the D-backs going forward and if they call to Jordan Waller to take over his spot. We're going to talk Arizona Cardinals today. The Cardinals bring back a familiar face in Calais Campbell. We're going to talk about that quite a bit. Good to see Calais Campbell back. We're going to talk about the Suns a little bit as well. Suns and Kevin Durant expected to work on a trade this offseason, and we'll talk a little bit about the Suns' latest games as they lose tonight against the Boston Celtics. And then, of course, we will end our show with college baseball. We'll continue with ASU, U of A, and GCU as we get closer to the end of the college baseball season. More than halfway done with it. So stay tuned. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to start off with the Diamondbacks, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to the AZ Sports Zone here on ID Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, a big shout out to our sponsors, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. The jerky that's on a whole other planet. You can order at planetjerky.net. Shout out to Vital Apparel. Make sure to use the code IESR to get 15% off of the merchandise. Take advantage of every discount that you can get your hands on. And of course, Seal the Deal Wax Seals, you guys can go on their website and order. And of course, shout out to IE Sports Radio itself. And of course, shout out to our sponsor, Raw Nutrition Supplements. You can go to getrawnutrition.com and use the promo code IESR for 10% off. So another opportunity for a pretty good discount, better than nothing. So, take advantage of that every chance you can get. And of course, follow me on X for both of the accounts that I have at AZ Sports Zone IE, where lately I've been not doing a little bit of play-by-play every time the D-back game lately, kind of give updates on the game, updates on news if it comes out, that kind of thing. Pretty much I'll just update, retweet a bunch of Arizona sports news on there, and then my personal X account at the AZTRL, where that's the unfiltered Alden K. So if you want to get a good laugh on that, make sure to follow me on that account as well. And if you enjoy AZ Sports Zone, support it's right there, $5 a month. If you guys enjoy the show, and this is one way to support, I would greatly appreciate it. But I do appreciate you guys' support, just by being here and listening to me talk. All that is Arizona sports, which I really appreciate. But with that being said, let's get into the first segment, and we're going to start it off good. We're going to start off with the Diamondbacks. This might be the longest segment of the show, so I'm just going to start off right away because, obviously baseball's back. I talked about the Diamondbacks and Cubs last week. They ended up splitting that series. So I'll briefly talk about that a little bit. The fourth game it started off bad, but it ended pretty good. Scoring 8 runs in the eighth inning, and they won 10-6. So a good way to close out that series. And then they traveled over to the Bronx to take on the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. And this was a really good series. So I'm going to talk about every game in this series. and because they won the first 2 games, they lost the last game, so they didn't end up getting the sweep, but they did win the series, and this was a very good test for them early in the season because the Yankees coming into this series, they had 36 runs in a span of 3 games in their opener against Milwaukee. And of course, the whole torpedo bat trend is going crazy about the Yankees. I've never been somebody. If you guys listen to the bullpen bulletin, I even said this on Tuesday, uh, that the Yankees are just a good team. That's why they score so many runs. It has nothing to do with the bats that they use or anything like that. So, torpedo bat or not, I knew this was going to be a very big test for the D-backs to play an opponent like the Yankees early on in the season, coming off of a series tie against the Cubs. Quite frankly, the Cubs have been playing very good baseball lately. They just handed the Padres their first loss of the season. So at the end of the day, uh, splitting with the Cubs looks pretty good so far. But they did win against the Yankees. So the first game, we got to see Corbin Burnes make his regular season Diamondbacks debut. And not the prettiest, but not the worst either. I won't, completely bash him. Like I said, this, at least with Zach Gallen, I mean, he actually looked terrible in this game. Corbin Burnes, I don't want to say all the runs that the Yankees scored while he was pitching were his fault because they weren't. But he went 4 innings and a third of 5. He gave up 4 hits. 2 of the runs that the Yankees scored, I believe they scored 4 runs before Torrey took out Corbin Burnes. Only 2 of them were actually because of Corbin Burnes, and the other 2 were based off of a stupid error that was caused by Josh Naylor. And Josh Naylor looked lost in that game. That first game, you know, not being able to throw the ball back to get the out, and it turns into 2 extra runs by the Yankees. That was just a bad error by Josh Naylor. So it was definitely not a good way to really start off that series. But they were down 4-2 for a majority of the game when they did take Corbin Burnes out. The bullpen looked pretty good. They didn't allow a single run. Uh, or they didn't allow a run until the 9th inning, when the game was pretty much over at that point. But going into the 8th inning, they were still down 4-2 in this game, and the bases were loaded with 2 outs. And Gino Suarez saved the day with the go-ahead grand slam, which sealed the opening win for the D-backs in that game. And Gino Suarez has been playing lights out to start the season. I know his batting average isn't the best. It is only, I think as of right now, it's only been 8 games. But I know his batting average it's not that high right now, but 5 home runs and I believe 11 RBIs to start off this season. No matter what your batting average is, that's a really good start to this season in the first 8 games. So Gino, unlike last year, he's starting off the year pretty good because last year he didn't start really swinging the bat well until after the trade deadline in July or All-Star break. So uh, really like what I'm seeing from Gino. He's definitely been the guy that he's really delivered in some of these games already. If it weren't for him, D-backs would either be a 500 team or 500 right now. If it weren't for the clutch moments that he had in the first 2 series that the D-backs played. And they ended up winning this game 7-5. So they did give up 1 run in the 9th inning. It was a home run to Ben Rice, but there were 2 outs left, and the game was pretty much over by then. And to be honest, coming into this series, I did not think they were even gonna win 2 games in this series. I thought going into Yankee Stadium, dealing with the New Yorkers in that stadium, the Yankees were coming off of a very good series against Milwaukee. I didn't even think they would win 2 games in this series. I said they'd be lucky to get 1, and they got 2. Because in the second game, really surprised me. It definitely surprised me that Zach Gallen, he really shined in the second game against the Yankees. We all know the bad opening day that he had against the Cubs. It looked like 2024 Zach Gallen all over again. It didn't really seem like, even though it was only 1 game, it didn't seem like he was going to really turn it around this season. But he definitely stepped up, and he had a big turnaround in this game. He only pitched 7 full innings. He only gave up 3 hits, and he had a career high of 13 strikeouts against the Yankees. Whether they're using torpedo bats or not, he struck them out 13 times. So, and he didn't give up a run at all. So in this game, the D-backs, they scored early. I believe the only 4 runs that they scored came from the first 2 innings in this game, and that was all they really needed. And this game, they definitely did give me a heart attack when Volpe hit that 3-run homer in the 9th inning. I was like, "There's no way they're going to blow this game." And that's another thing too. AJ Puck, he has kind of looked a little bit. I don't want to say bad. I believe, he had a really good game tonight, which I will get to the Nationals game tonight. As the D-backs won that game 6-4 tonight, but yeah, AJ Puck in that Yankees series kind of looked shaky. He didn't blow any games or anything like that. He wasn't the reason why they lost the last game or anything like that, but he kind of looked a little bit shaky in that series. So, then again, we're so young into the season that the guys aren't really in sync yet. They're still getting used to, getting back into regular season baseball form. These guys, they have scheduled off days, which is another thing too. Like, once I get to the 3rd game, I'm kind of going to go on a rant regarding Torey Lovullo here. But yeah, this 2nd game, by far, this was a really good game. Other than the 9th inning when they almost blew it, this was almost a perfect game for them from start to finish. Well, not finish, but start to 8th inning, they pretty much did everything that you can ask them to do. They did come out with the win 4-3. So, win's a win, especially against the Yankees. I'll take it, even though they almost did blow that game, which really, it, if you guys remember watching the D-backs these past couple of years, the amount of blown saves that they had, it's like you're just waiting for them to blow another game away. But very good win here. They really made a statement in these first 2 games, and by beating the Yankees in the first 2 games, very important, especially with the schedule that they have to start the season. They're taking on the Nationals right now, and then they head back home against the Orioles, and then they somewhat have a good little bit of maybe an easy stretch. But yeah, to start off the season, they've been tested pretty well by their opponents, and overall, the 2nd game was probably the best game of this series. This was a really good pitching battle, and D-backs ended up winning it, so this was a great game. The game, however, oof, man, pretty rough. Yeah, Merrill Kelly did not look good at all whatsoever. It Merrill Kelly looked bad. He looked bad in this game. So he didn't even make it through 4 innings. He gave up 9 hits, 9 earned runs. 9. Torey waited until he gave up 9 earned runs to take him out of the ball game, and he gave up 3 walks. Yeah, that was a very bad game. It's just like, I really thought that they had a chance to sweep the Yankees because of the pitching matchup. We had Merrill Kelly, who looked really good against the Cubs in the 2nd game of the season, only gave up 1 run. And the Yankees had 2025 Carlos Carrasco on the mound for this game. So, I was like, okay, if Merrill Kelly can have a pretty good game, and, the D-backs offense does what they probably should have done against Carlos Carrasco, who I believe is 38 years old now, I would have been like, okay, yeah, maybe they could actually sweep the Yankees in their own stadium. But yeah, the Yankees batters came to play in this game. Judge had a home run. Chisholm had a home run. I mean, they had a lot. They had a lot of good swings in this game. So, obviously, the Yankees, I knew they were going to really come swinging in this 3rd game. Just, the type of team that they're not going to try to get swept like that. But the one problem I had with this game going into the beginning of it was the lineup that Torey Lovullo threw out there. He didn't play Ketel Marte. And I understand it was a scheduled day off, and he also didn't play Gabby Moreno either, which is something I'd never understand regarding Torvello. He plays Gabriel Moreno for one game, and then he sits him out for the next game. I would understand that if they actually had a good backup catcher, but Jose Herrera has not started the season off good at all. Like, I still question why the D-backs did not put Adrian Del Castillo on the opening day roster. I thought he had a good year last season. Spring training, maybe that had something to do with it. But overall, I figured ADC was good enough to be on the opening day roster over Herrera, because Herrera has not really had a good start to the season. So that's what I don't understand is Torey Lovullo sitting out Gabriel Moreno, a franchise catcher, a guy who's going to get paid big by the Diamondbacks at some point, maybe next season. Because I think that the Diamondbacks are done extending people this season. If anything, I don't think they'll discuss extensions with their other younger guys until spring training of next season. But they pretty much got all the extensions that they needed to get out of the way for this year at least. And a lot of team-friendly deals too. So, at the end of the day, this was but yeah, back to this game in general. Yeah, Merrill Kelly got rocked in this game, and I have no idea why Torey Lovullo kept him in the game. I mean, he should have taken him out when it was a 6-3 ball game. Giving up 6 runs, I think in the fourth inning at that point, you should have just taken him out. You have a bullpen who has proven for the start of the season that they can shut down the other team. The bullpen has looked pretty good this season, minus Ryan Thompson maybe. But the bullpen has looked pretty good so far to start off the season. So you have reliable guys. It's not like, and in today's baseball, we don't see starting pitchers go that deep into games anymore. But you have options at the bullpen. So, it's not like the bullpen is constantly known for giving up runs, which the bullpen too. Shelby Miller has looked really good to start off the season with the Diamondbacks. This was a guy that we did not want to see on the opening day roster because of how it ended when he was last on the Diamondbacks. But you can make a case. He's been our best bullpen pitcher so far to start off the season. Guys like him, Justin Martinez, they haven't given up a run yet. So yeah, you can make a case that this has been our best bullpen pitcher so far in these first 8 games. J Mart, another guy, hasn't given up a run yet. He actually saved the game tonight against Washington. AJ Puck, even though he's looked a little bit shaky, he's had some good outings. And Thompson, still kind of iffy. Yeah, we'll see how he continues. And Jalen Beeks has looked pretty decent in the time that he's played. So that's why I don't get Torey Lovullo. He keeps pitchers in the game when they're having a bad game, but if pitchers have a good game, we've seen this a lot with Torey Lovullo. He'll end up taking them out. We saw it with Brandon Pfaadt quite a bit when he first got into the majors. Matter of fact, he still does it. Tonight, Brandon Pfaadt had a decent game. He gave up 4 runs. I'll get to the Nationals here in a bit. But, yeah, regarding this final Yankees game, Merrill Kelly was in the game too long. Pitchers, they're not always going to have a good night. They're going to have bad games. And that's just how this game summed up for Merrill Kelly. It was just a bad game. The Yankees ended up winning this game 9-7. I did have a little bit of hope when Geraldo Perdomo hit that grand slam in the 7th inning, and it was a 9-7 ball game. And that's another thing. I want to shout out Perdomo because Perdomo has been our best base hitter so far to start off the season. I think when I was watching the game tonight, his batting average had eclipsed above 370, maybe 360 at the very least. But yeah, he's had a really good start to this season. He's the leader in RBIs with, I believe, 11 to start off the season. So Perdomo has looked very good to start off this season. He hit that grand slam in the 7th, made it a 9-7 ball game, and then the D-backs just couldn't score runs in the final 2 innings. And, the Yankees ended up closing out this game, and that was that. But overall, I really do like how they played in this series. The fact that they were able to uh, get 2 out of 3 against the defending AL champions. This was a very good series, and it was definitely a good message to send. Because I thought coming into this series they were going to get obliterated, but I'll take it. We're so early into the season, and it kind of sucks too because despite how good they're looking right now, um, look at our division right now. The Padres finally lost a game tonight against the Cubs. The Dodgers, last time I checked, they were currently losing to, I believe it was the Phillies. I don't know if they came back and won that game because the Dodgers have been pulling comebacks lately. So someone update me on that if the Dodgers ended up coming back and winning. But last time I checked, they were down 3-2. But so assuming the Dodgers did come back and win that game, which they probably did, the Giants walked off the Mariners today. Like this division is tough this season. Minus Colorado, pretty much. This division is going to be probably the toughest division in baseball. And 23 says in the chat, yeah, they lost. Okay, so the Dodgers and Padres finally lost a baseball game. So that's the hurt, I guess. Man, that Dodgers and Philly series, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that a lot deeper for that series. And the Padres and Cubs too. That's a good series. Bullpen bulletin. That's definitely going to be a really good series to watch as well. But before we get to the National Series, some really good news. Very good news. Mike Hazen pulls off another fantastic move. The Diamondbacks have extended Ketel Marte for 6 more years, and it's $116 million. So, very happy about this extension. And I'm surprised it was only $116 million. This was, I thought maybe we would have had to pay him more. He's just now entering his 30s, so he's pretty much going to be a D-back for life. So he's going to be a Diamondback for a very long time. Overall, great move. Our best player on the team as of right now. I know he got hurt today, which really sucks, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But overall, this extension was very good. He had an MVP caliber season last year, and he's had a good start to this season. And overall, this is just another move from Mike Hazen that we can just get done. It's sealed and delivered. Marte will be a Diamondback for probably the rest of his career. And, I'm glad that this is just another team-friendly deal that Mike Hazen threw out. We saw it with Brandon Pfaadt, Justin Martinez, only $18 million for Justin Martinez, which I still find crazy. $45 million for Brandon Pfaadt for 5 years. Like he's getting it going right now. Perdomo got extended as well for $40 million. So, we're keeping the important guys on this team right now. And I could see next year maybe they talk to Gabby Moreno about an extension. But yeah, overall, really good extension move here by Mike Hazen, and I like it so much. Marte, pretty much my favorite player at this point, so I'm glad that he's going to be a D-back for a very long time. Yep, Dodgers lost today. Okay, so yeah, Dodgers lost today, Giants won, I know that, and the D-backs won tonight. So here we go with the D-backs and Nationals, which started today. The D-backs made the trip to D.C. after losing their last game to the Yankees, and they win their series opener against the Washington Nationals 6-4. And, the game started off pretty bad. Brandon Pfaadt was pitching. Pfaadt went 6 innings today. He gave up 4 runs. 3 of them were in the first inning. C.J. Abrams on the second pitch hit a home run to tie the game. And I believe after that, it was Luis Garcia who hit a 2-run moonshot to give a 3-1 lead. The Nationals had the lead for a good amount in this game. And Nathaniel Lowe looked really good for the Nationals too. That's a guy that really has had Brandon Pfaadt's number. since Brandon Pfaadt came up to the majors. I believe his career batting average against Brandon Pfaadt was somewhere around 400. So, yeah, Nathaniel Lowe, definitely keeping him in check was a key to win this game, which they did in the ninth inning. Justin Martinez closed this game pretty good. And Justin Martinez still has not given up a run yet this season, so hopefully that continues. I did talk about Justin Martinez a lot, about how his ERA was a little bit high in spring training, but, come the regular season, he's doing his thing now. So, and overall, this was a very good win right here. The D-backs are now 5-3. They have 2 more against the Nationals before they go back home to take on the other DMV team, which is the Baltimore Orioles. So for this series, we're going to be seeing tomorrow. It's a 1:00 game. We're going to be seeing Eduardo Rodriguez, and then for the third and final game, we're going to be seeing Corbin Burns close out that series. And then when they come back to Baltimore, I would assume it would be Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and then Brandon Pfaadt for that 3-game series against the Orioles. So, but overall, this was a pretty good game. Garrett Hampson finally got a base hit on the D-backs. Jake McCarthy is a guy who, Jake McCarthy is starting off the season 0 for 18, so he has still not recorded a base hit yet, which sucks too because he had a fairly good year last season. I thought Jake McCarthy coming into this season was really going to do really good things, but so far it's been the other way around. Alec Thomas has had a good start to this season. We didn't see him today. Obviously facing left-handed pitchers, this and that. Obviously we weren't going to see him a lot, but overall, they got the win. That's all that matters. And they head into tomorrow's game with Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't know off the top of my head who's pitching for Washington, but I would assume for the third game with Corbin Burns pitching. Then again, Corbin Burns is the 5th pitching spot, so maybe we'll see. But hopefully with this national series, they are currently 1-6 to start the season. So I don't want to, overlook things too much, but sweeping the team should be something that I don't want to say expect, but something we should at least, hopefully they do. And playing a team like the Orioles after this series, they're definitely going to need a sweep. Like I said, the division is tough this season. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take every win we can get to climb back into this division. The Dodgers aren't going anywhere. The Padres aren't going anywhere. The Giants, I'm still skeptical about. We'll see how they continue to play, if they can keep up their win streak. But overall, important win here. They won 6-4, but it came with a little bit of a cost. So Ketel Marte in the first inning, he recorded a base hit down center field. Would have been a triple. It would have been a leadoff triple, but or not leadoff triple, but it would have been a triple. And he tweaked his hamstring while he was running to second base, and he did not come back into this game, and he was diagnosed with a right hamstring strain. So, this was it just sucks. We've always dealt with injuries, especially last season, but I just wish they can go at least 2 or 3 straight series without having to deal with injuries like that. But I would assume with this injury, or I would at least hope with this injury, that they give Jordan Lawler a promotion. You can put Jordan Lawler at shortstop. You can put Perdomo at second, because that's how versatile Perdomo is. He can play second. We've seen him do it before. Jordan Lawler is primarily a shortstop, if not third base. They never sit Gino Suarez. They never give him an off day, pretty much. So, with this Marte injury, I would at least hope they consider giving Jordan Lawler a promotion, which I should probably check to see if he's scratched from today's game, because if he is, then that most likely means he will be en route to DC to play in this D-backs National Series. That's just me having high hopes. I haven't seen a report from anybody or anything like that about Jordan Lawler getting promoted to the majors while Marte is injured. But yeah, hamstring, especially in baseball, that could set him out for, maybe the 10 or 15-day injured list. So yeah, having the depth and not wanting to see Garrett Hampson play second base every freaking game would be probably the right decision. Uh, but at the end of the day, I've seen Torrey make stupid moves, and quite frankly, with the history Torrey has, he might play Garrett Hampson at second base pretty much every game until Ketel Marte comes back. You know, I do think Torrey is a fairly good manager, but there's just some decisions that makes you scratch your head that he makes. And trust me, there's a plethora of stupid moves that this guy has made since managing the D-back. But overall, yeah, next week we'll definitely talk about the rest of the 2 games against the Nationals. I will not be live at all. I think by the next episode I go live, they will be done with the Orioles series as well. So we'll talk about that a lot as well. But overall, a pretty good start for the Diamondbacks this season. They're 5-3 at this point, which I wish we played in the AL Central. That would be such an easy division to win, but no, we got to deal with the Dodgers and Padres. And yes, we got to deal with the Giants now too, which is insane. But overall, I like what the Diamondbacks are playing right now. I just hope that they can, hang on a little bit and just hope that the division starts to lose a little bit. But I'm just glad baseball's back. I'm glad that the D-backs are back and they're playing good baseball to start off the season, and we'll see how they continue. But we are going to go into our first break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals bringing back Calais Campbell, and we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns. We'll talk about their latest games, and we'll talk about the Suns and Kevin Durant expecting to work on a trade this offseason. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to the AZ Sports Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hockey fans, I'm Adam Kernick.
And I'm Zach Puplis.
Together, we are the newest version of Hockey Talk on IE Sports Radio, The Neutral Zone.
Zone.
We love hockey, but we also know it's not everyone's first sport. So we want to make this show as much for new fans as for the diehards.
Whether you can name all the Swedes on the 08 Red Wings Stanley Cup team, or if you can't tell if Varlamov is a goalie or the latest trendy vodka, we're here to help. With facts, figures, and outrageous fans, we bring you all the hard-hitting hockey news you can handle, while still keeping it fun and on the rails. Well, mostly.
So tune in every week as we go around the hockey world, from college to Canada, the minors and the majors, and everywhere in between.
So bring your cellies.
And your one-timers.
You wicked wristas.
And be sure to protect your 5-hole.
Catch the Neutral Zone every week on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
We promise not to pick on the Arizona Coyotes every episode.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone here on IE Sports Radio, direct feed for all that sports. I just covered the Diamondbacks segment where they're 8 games into the season now, 5-3 at this point. They won today against the Nationals, pretty good win, and they recently won a series against the Yankees, which was a good message. And we'll see how they continue to play. But now it's time for some Cardinals talk, and we finally have some Cardinals news to talk about. And this is some really good news. I don't care how old he is. I don't care if he can't even run that fast anymore. I don't care if he can get to the quarterback anymore. I love the fact that the Cardinals have brought back Calais Campbell for a 1-year deal for his 18th NFL season. This signing meant a lot, like for the Cardinals fan base and just overall for Arizona itself. Uh, I did not think that Calais Campbell would be a Cardinal for the rest of his career because of the way things ended back in 2016. But another dumb move that Steve kind of made by getting rid of him, or he didn't want to pay, I should say. But it's better late than never, I guess. So they have Calais Campbell back. Is another reason on why I'm happy they brought him back, because the Cardinals need veteran leadership. They're still a very young team. And Calais Campbell is a guy who can lead the defense. He's a guy who can mentor the young guys like Darius Robinson, BJ Ojolari, guys on the D line, guys on the defense, hell, even guys on the offense. He can, he is a locker room guy, and that's one of the most important things. You need to have the locker room under control, and he's a guy that can do that. And he posted on his Instagram that he was happy to be back here where it all started, and now it's time to end it with a bang here in Arizona. So that most likely means that this will be his last year in the NFL. So I'm really happy if it is ending after next season. I'm glad that's happening in Arizona. This is a guy that I grew up watching. He's third on our all-time sacks leader on our sack leading list, or he's in the top 5 at least. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but yeah, he's done a lot of good things for the Cardinals. He's the only player remaining from that 2008 Super Bowl. So yeah, very glad that he's back. This very good signing. I really love the fact that Monty Fort really did this for the fans and for the Cardinals, because he's a guy that even if he doesn't do that much this season, it's really good just to see him wearing the Cardinal uniform again, and it's really nice to see him mentoring the young guys and being a leader for this team, because that's something that they need as they head towards trying to get back to the postseason for the first time since 2021. And this team has what it takes. This team is definitely a team that can make some noise next season. Like I said, I personally think that this season, next year is going to be. I think that what it takes to get to the playoffs, it really just depends on the way Kyler plays. So, overall, this is just another move that Monty Fort made that I really like. So, really good to see him back for probably one more year. This might be the last time this might be the last year we see him. So let's enjoy it as a fan base while we can, because yeah, I did not think he would ever be a Cardinal again after the way things ended in 2016. He did good things in Jacksonville. He did good things in Baltimore. So really glad that he's back in Arizona, though. Very glad. And some even greater news. Yeah, Trey McBride has been extended for 4 more years, $76 million. And I believe, if the post wasn't a troll, that makes him the highest paid tight end in NFL history. He's worth every penny. And I will be the first to admit, when we first drafted Trey McBride, I kind of wasn't happy. I didn't think we needed another tight end. We had Zach Ertz at that time. I was like, why are we drafting another tight end? This is another stupid move by Steve Kine. Well, yeah, it's sad that this might be one of the best, if not the best picks that Steve Kine made. Because Trey McBride had a hell of a year last season. I know the touchdown numbers weren't what we what we wanted them to be, but over 1,000 yards, first time in Cardinals history a tight end has done that. That's another thing too. The Cardinals have not had a really good history of having good tight ends. So I'm glad that they finally have their guy now. Pretty good move overall. 76 million too. I mean, I'll take the Cardinals have access to do it. And yes, I saw 23's comment. DJ Humphries is back on the Cardinals as well, but I just hope he stays healthy. Like when it comes to that, I just, man. But we'll see what happens regarding DJ Humphries. But yeah, regarding Trey McBride, I'll tell you. Wow, I think 23 just read my mind. Yeah, if Steve Kime were still the general manager, he would not have extended Trey McBride. He wouldn't have even franchise tagged him. The Cardinals are not necessarily an organization that does the franchise tag or anything like that. So, yeah, if he were still the manager, the general manager, Trey McBride would probably go to probably get paid somewhere else on another team. So, regardless of that, I'm glad that they were able to get this done before next season starts as well. And yeah, Trey McBride is here for the next 4 years. It's a $76 million contract. Applaud Monty Austin for that because that's something that we want to get done as soon as possible. So yeah, shout out to that, and shout out to Trey McBride. He's going to be a Cardinal for the next 4 years. So we'll see how that works out. But now let's, my gosh, just when I thought I was done talking about this team, man. This team they just cannot get out of their own way. I'm going to make this short. We're going to start saying Suns down instead of Suns up, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's the Suns handle on X. Suns up. We're going to keep on saying Suns down because that's where the Sun has been down in Phoenix lately. Overall, we all know about the crappy season that they've had, and honestly, I think this is probably the best news that we all could have received. Yeah, the fact that the Suns and Kevin Durant are going to work on a trade this offseason. Honestly, it's probably the best bet that the Suns have if they want to get better. And I know KD said he wanted to stay in Phoenix, but at the end of the day, it's a business. If the Suns want to get better, their best bet is to trade Kevin Durant. I don't care what team they trade him to, as long as it's not one of the LA teams or anything like that. Heck, I think he actually came out with a list of teams he was interested in at the deadline. It was the Knicks. I believe the Knicks were one of them. I think the Timberwolves were another one. I think Miami was another one too, which is funny. Kevin Durant was originally going to get traded to Miami for Jimmy Butler for a 3-team deal, but they said no, or he said no, which is weird because he said he was interested in them, so it is what it is. But yeah, this is the best bet. Suns trading Kevin Durant if they want to get better. Get as many young guys, as many picks as you can. You can still get out of KD, even though he's getting up there in age. But yeah, overall, just such a forgettable season that I just want to move past at this point. A little bit about their latest games. I mean, they've been nothing but blowout after blowout after blowout after another blowout. So they did lose to the Celtics today. It was 123 to 103. And Bradley Beal came back from injury. Looked pretty much the way you would think he looked, which was god awful. He scored 1 point. He scored 1 point in 30 minutes. This is who they're paying $50 million to per year. just for him to score 1 point in 30 minutes. See Marcus Low Streets tuning in. How you doing, Marcus? Yeah. That's their highest paid player. He's scoring 1 point, making $50 million a year. He must be living the dream right now. They also lost to Milwaukee by 10 points. I mean, no KD in that game. Devin Booker had 39. Their next leading scorer was Grayson Allen with 23. I mean, what more can you ask for? No KD. They weren't going to win that game. They got annihilated by Houston. And I mean annihilated. 148 to 109. KD had 11 points in that game. Booker had 28. Those were the only two people that were in double figures. They played the Timberwolves last Friday. Or I think I talked about that game, actually. Yeah, they got annihilated by 15. So since the last time I went live, they have been 0 for 3. And get this. This is who they close out their season against. They played the Knicks on Sunday. They played the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday. A team that has looked really good since getting Jimmy Butler. I believe they've only lost 4 games since the trade deadline. Then they play OKC, who they have not beaten since, I believe, 2022. Forget that. They play San Antonio. Even without Wemby, they did not beat San Antonio the last time they played them. And then they end their season against the Sacramento Kings. And yes, I say they end their season against the Sacramento Kings because they are not making the play-in tournament. They're just not. They'd have to win 2 games in a row, or at least 2 of these next 5 games, and hope that Sacramento or Dallas goes on a losing streak. And Dallas just got AD back. Or did he get hurt again? I don't even know at this point. He's always hurt. So basically, with that being said, Suns are not going to be making the play-in tournament. If they make the play-in tournament, they're not winning a game. Even if they get out of the play-in tournament, they're going to get swept by the Thunder. This season is done. It's been done. Been done since before it even started. Just so disappointing. And now they're talking about firing Mike Budenholzer after 1 year, which honestly, who even knows what they're thinking right now. But yeah, just an overall terrible season. One that I just want to forget about. Like nowadays, I'm just focused on the D-backs. Heck, even the Cardinals. So, yeah, the Suns are in shambles right now. Suns down, as I said. We're going to go into our second and final break, and when we come back, we're going to close out these last 5 minutes or so with college baseball. We'll talk about ASU and U of A, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to the AZ Sports Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a fan of Minnesota sports? Do you love the Vikings and hate the Packers? Are you a fan of the Timberwolves, Twins, Wild, Lynx, St. Paul Saints? Here on the Bold North Breakdown, we'll talk about all of those professional teams as well as all the college teams in the area. That's your basketball teams, football, hockey, volleyball, men's and women's sports alike. We talk about them all. Here on the Bold North Breakdown. Join me, your host, Glenn Ritter, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central to discuss all that is happening in the Minnesota sports scene. Here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
How we doing, sports fans? This is Christian Harvey, your host of Gritsville, USA, your go-to show for all things Detroit and Michigan here on IE Sports Radio. Whether you're here for Gritty Lions talk, getting pumped up for the great Detroit sports renaissance, or hating on your neighbor depending on if they were green or blue, we got you covered. Whether you're in the East, West, or Central, we got you covered. Join me as we tackle through all that the great state of Michigan has to offer in the world of sports. Catch me, Christian Harvey, each week on Gritsville, USA, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back to the AZ Sports Zone here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Just covered the Cardinals and Suns, how they brought back Calais Campbell, amazing offer, and extended Trey McBride, and then the Suns remain in shambles, like always. But I still rep them. Fortunately, or not unfortunately, but they are still my team, and I love them, even though they don't deserve my love. So there you go. But let's close out this episode with college baseball as we get closer to the end of college baseball. Hey guys, ASU is finally ranked. ASU baseball is finally ranked. Love to see it. The Sun Devils are ranked 24th in baseball right now. So they're currently 20-9 right now. And they have a very big test coming up. They actually played today against U of A. So they won their last game before today. They won their last game against Cal State Fullerton, and they beat them 14-4. So they came to play in that game. Batters looked alive. Pitching was good enough. They beat Cal State Fullerton. That was a pretty good game. And yeah, just they were able to really close out that game very well. But as I'm currently trying to load the screen right now, they took on U of A baseball tonight, which is still going on right now. Still going on right now. It's currently the bottom of the fourth inning, and they're beating, or top of the fifth now, and they're currently beating U of A 4-1. So ASU beating U of A at something other than football. Wow, it's crazy. But yeah, so the Sun Devils are currently up 4-1 against U of A in the first game of this 3-game series. So we'll see if they can close out that game. Because U of A is without their best player right now, a guy who was supposed to go top 10 in the MLB draft in Brendan Summerhill. So I guess this is kind of my ASU and U of A segment right here. But yeah, after U of A, ASU is taking on CSUN for one game. They have a 3-game series, Big 12 matchup against the Cincinnati Bearcats. They play Purdue for one game. They play Texas Tech for a 3-game series. Then they take on GCU for one game. And then BYU, Long Beach State, Baylor, Houston, GCU again, and then Oklahoma State. So they play a lot of Big 12 teams to close out the season. But now that they're ranked, and they're currently beating U of A right now, so applaud to the Sun Devil fans, including myself. Come on now. Devils up, Forks up. So let's hope they close out that game, and let's hope that they have a good series against the Wildcats. Yeah, ASU baseball has looked pretty good lately. It only took them, I think, over a decade to finally get ranked in baseball. So yeah, that's good to see. Kind of similar to football. They're finally getting up there in the rankings again, so we'll take it. U of A, I mean, I kind of already talked about U of A. So basically, U of A right now, they're currently 20-8. They have roughly around the same record as ASU. They just have one less loss. They lost their last game, and they got obliterated by Grand Canyon University. It was 11-5. Pitching did not show up in that game. Like I said, without Brendan Summerhill in the outfield, it's not going to be the same for U of A. They did score 5 runs in this game, but the pitching was just not there today. It's GCU, a team that, they've shown up in a few games here and there. I know their record is it's 7 games above 500, but U of A has showed up pretty good this year. But yeah, they're, like I said earlier, they're taking on ASU right now. U of A's down 1-4 right now in the top of the fifth. They are currently batting right now, so we'll see if they can get the offense going and pull off a comeback against ASU. But yeah, other than that, I mean, U of A and ASU, they've had a similar season this year. ASU is 24th. U of A is somehow not ranked, which really surprises me. I thought that they would be ranked, especially from going from March 2nd to, I believe, March 20th without losing a game. I would assume that they would have at least gotten some credit for that. But I guess without their best player and being out for a little bit, that had something to do with it. But, we'll see. I'm still surprised about that. But, yeah, before we close out the episode, let's, finish this off with GCU baseball, who is currently 18 and 11 right now. See, the thing about GCU is they play so good at home. They're 12-3 at home this year, but on the road is what kills them. They're 5-6 this season, but they did beat U of A on Tuesday on April 1st, and then a couple days ago they lost to Cal State Fullerton. I talked about their matchup with ASU just now, but GCU lost to them 4-2. And today they are currently taking on Cal Baptist, and for the first game of the 3-game series of that, and then they take on Utah Valley, and then they play U of A again on April 15th for a 1-game, and then they play ASU a week after that on the 22nd. So, we are seeing a lot of Arizona versus Arizona college baseball, which is pretty cool. We get to see a lot of that to close out the season. We don't have that many games left. We're more than halfway done with the season, so it's going by quick. So a lot of good for Arizona baseball right now. All the main college teams are above 500 right now. We're seeing ASU and U of A go at it once again. We'll see if ASU can get their revenge for what happened in the last series against U of A. And we'll see if GCU can bounce back against Cal Baptist for the 3-game series that they're currently playing right now. And we'll just see how Arizona college baseball ends. Like I said, not that far away. But anyway, guys, yeah, so we'll see how that ends. But other than that, that is all I got for episode 38. I want to thank all of you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. I had over 40 people in here watching. Shout out to Marcus and 23 for commenting in the chat a little bit. But yeah, next week we're definitely going to continue with the Diamondbacks, see how they do against the Nationals and the Orioles. If any other Cardinals news breaks out, we'll talk about that as well, especially because it is officially draft month. So we'll see what the Cardinals are thinking as we get closer to draft day. The Cardinals are picking at 16th, but once they're not picking in the top 10, which is crazy. So we'll see how they do in the draft with the 6 picks that they have. And of course, with the Suns, season should pretty much be over and solidified next Friday. We'll talk about a closing segment on the Suns temporarily for now. And of course, we'll continue with college baseball next Friday. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 38 of the AZ Sports Zone here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Paul. See you guys next Friday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And see you guys next Friday. Have a good one.